hey, how can we really make this a single person operation? We want some person to, to really target market, to really enjoy this, take this out to the water, take it from their garage,
Good morning. We are here with Noah Collins from Icon Aircraft. It's a very interesting concept in aviation. He's going to tell us all about the company and some of their milestones they've just reached, so pay very close attention. I encourage you, if you have any questions, to send them in to Kelsey. She'll transfer them to Noah and you'll get answered right away. Don't try to hold your questions to the end. So first thing I'm going to do is play a little video for you. Welcome to another Aero Marine free webinar. Let me tell you who we are. We help people who are buying aircraft, vessels, and vehicles to legally avoid the California tax. Just because you're a non-resident of California doesn't mean you're not subject to their assessment. So be smart about all of that. We do these for you because we're trying to give you free information. We do this all the time because you need it, because you've asked for it. And if you've got any subjects that you'd like us to cover that you haven't heard us cover in the past, just send me an email or send an email to Kelsey or call us at 916-691-9192 and we'll get you the information that you asked for. There's my little shameless presentation. So now let's get this started. Noah, you're in control. You got it. Take it over.
Good morning. Yeah, Tom, thank you so very much. I just want to say thanks to you and Kelsey and your whole team at Aero Marine. We really appreciate the opportunity for partnership and the opportunity to present and chat about Icon Aircraft, which is a very exciting. It's still sort of a startup. We are a 10-year-old plus startup, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and then jump into the presentation here. Please ask questions as we go along. Certainly, we'll keep the flow. I'll be covering a lot of stuff about the company, but just chime right in the in the chat function of the presentation. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have as we go along. So Icon Aircraft was founded by a gentleman named Kirk Hawkins. And basically, you see that picture there on the screen. That picture is the first thing you see when you walk into our office, our headquarters currently in Vacaville, California. And we believe, and Kirk has believed, and the team believes that many of us have dreamed of flying since we were young, and certainly the picture is very apropos. I think as humans, we've always had a fascination of what flying represents, the freedom, the fun and the adventure. And so there's a powerful and emotional, and it's sort of this uniquely human pursuit that's been evident, at least since the early 1900s. So that's something that our founder was very passionate about, and so he was born and raised on the East Coast in the Southeast. I went to Clemson, was a very accomplished engineer and Air Force fighter pilot. He flew F-16s and in the Air Force, and then was an airline pilot down for American Airlines down in Florida in Miami. And he actually got furloughed from the airlines, which benefited us all therein, all current 750 employees at Icon Aircraft, because he then went to Stanford Business School, and that's when this all started, 2004, 2005, 2006. So a little bit about myself before I jump in further, but yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have been part of the team for about 19 months now. I was a former Navy guy. I flew on and off the aircraft carrier for many years. and was most recently in the energy business, working for Siemens, a large German conglomerate, selling and developing very large energy projects for municipalities, universities, schools, and hospitals. And one of my good friends, who is the current director of marketing at Icon, he'd been at Icon for quite some time, and he called me up, and they were expanding and growing the sales team, and he I knew I knew how to fly, and he thinks he said, maybe you know how to sell, I don't know. He said, so why don't you join the team? And to be honest, Siemens is one of the oldest and most stable companies in the entire world. Siemens has probably been around 170 years. Going from that to a 10-year-old startup was a consideration. But once I jumped in the airplane and met the team, it wasn't a difficult consideration, to be honest. It's a wonderful, wonderful product. Then there's wonderful people. So with that, I'll jump right in here. So our what we wanted to do, our whole vision was to democratize aviation. When Kirk went to Stanford, he went to Stanford Business School, and he was looking at a lot of data, and he was looking at what his capstone project wanted to be. And he found that there was a tremendous amount of people that wanted to fly, but they were sort of intimidated, uh, because when you go and you sit in any large airplane or even any small airplane, there's a lot of buttons and switches, and it can be a little overwhelming. So keeping in mind that visceral feeling, that human fun and freedom, he wanted to see how he might be able to bring that to more and more folks. And just so happens that at that time, as most of you probably know, the Department of Transportation, along with the FAA, had recently, in 2004, came up with the light sport category, and the sport pilot license. So one of the reasons, the impetus behind that too, a large portion of which was to bring more folks into aviation. Half the time and money, right? 20 hours, vice 40 hours to get your sport pilot license. But of course, the light sport category put restrictions on you, like weight, like number of people, like altitude that you could fly, different airspace that you could fly. You can only fly during the day, nice weather. So Kirk was looking at all this, and he wanted to see how he could create something in and around that category. That's really, that sort of started the whole vision. I mean, he really wanted to reinvent flying, and got a small team together at that time, and began to put together a business plan to bring this vision into reality. So pretty incredible stuff. And even when I started, the company has grown quite a bit. I mean, even within 18 months, the company has grown from about 450 folks to 750 plus folks now work at Icon Aircraft. So pretty incredible. So back initially, you'll see here on this next screen, sort of the wooden mock-up there on stilts. Design has always been something that's extremely important. It's at the core of what we do, certainly. And as you can see, it's a beautiful, very aesthetically pleasing aircraft, and it's definitely a part of our culture. The team has always felt that good design enhances the user experience functionally and emotionally. And so throughout the course of our founding, it was important as the team grew, and there were hundreds and hundreds of people involved in this, everyone from Tesla to Audi to BMW. People ask, why cars? And one of the reasons is that cars really do, the car industry and the car company has a real focus on design and comfort. And we wanted to bring that back into aviation. We wanted that feel. And so the team did something very, very unique, where they actually took some folks that would fit the model of who who they envision would be purchasing and utilizing this adventure machine in the future. And they actually designed a plane around those people. So it's sort of looking at things from the other way. Instead of designing a really good airplane, which it was, and then trying to fit people into it, they kind of inverted that. So they took a bunch of people, which they thought might enjoy this at some point in the future, and then they decided to design the cockpit and the feel, the aesthetics, the tactile feel, even the stick, the rudders, the throttle, and design an airplane in a cockpit around that. So very, very fascinating, and design has been something that's been very, very important. And as you probably know, the Icon A5 is an amphibious aircraft, so it does have retractable landing gear. So as you can see in that picture, the boat, it does have a boat bottom, sort of like a jet ski with wings. So it is able to go in the water, or on a runway, or grass, or dirt strip as well. And as we'll get into here, the flying characteristics are quite incredible. What they've been able to do in the design and in the flight testing phase, it's quite impressive. It was with certainly thousands of hours and hundreds of carrier landings. I was very, very impressed with what they were able to do with this small machine. So here you see some of the design objectives, and we repeat this and say this all the time. The A5 is meant to be easy, safe, fun, beautiful, and versatile. One of the things too is you can see from that mock-up where the wings are chopped off. That's actually the wing fold joint where the wings fold, and you'll see pictures of that coming up, where you can trailer this plane as well. I mean, that's part of the versatility. You can park it in your garage. You can drive it to your favorite lake. You can float it in the water like you would a speedboat or a fishing boat, or you could fly it over to the water. So it's really, really incredible what they were able to do. It was a long time coming. I mean, Kirk kind of joked around that it was starting a clean sheet aircraft company, right? I mean, this is a brand new design, a brand new company. I mean, literally sketched out on the back of a napkin. So to bring that all the way through all the certifications with the FAA and bring a market to bear is extremely difficult. And through a recession, as we all remember, he started the company in 2006, so that was a challenge too. But here we are, 10 plus years, decade plus later, and still doing well. Proud to say we've just delivered our 100th airplane, and so that was quite a milestone for us. It was pretty terrific. But some basic characteristics of the A5. Again, it's a light sport aircraft. So the FAA does have restrictions, and we do fit into all those restrictions. It's a two-seat aircraft. Cruises about 95 knots or so. The range is 400 plus nautical miles. The payload is 440 pounds. It can take off and land right as you see there between 500 and 1,000 feet. One of the very unique aspects of this plane too, and part of the versatility, is that it takes auto gas or aviation gas. So if you're at a boat ramp, or if you have it on the trailer, I mean, you could pull into the Chevron station, or you can pull into the 7-Eleven and put gas in the pump, as long as it's put gas from the pump into the tank, as long as it's 91 octane or higher. So again, and the motor was specifically designed. The Rotax motor was we partnered with Rotax, of course, and re-engineered the motor a bit to accommodate both types of fuel. So it doesn't matter what different mixtures in there, how they're mixed, how much of each. The motor will run fine on both, and as a pilot at the controls, you will not notice a difference at all. The only difference is actually the aviation gas is a little bit dirtier, so you will notice a little more residue from that. And if you do burn aviation gas on a regular basis, you'll there in our in the operating manual. You will have to change your spark plugs and things like that, and filters with a little bit more frequency, because it is so. The plane actually, the Rotax motor likes the 91 octane, which is also a lot cheaper than avgas for all the pilots out there. So again, runway is diverse. You can take it where you want, and the price of the aircraft is $389, and we are only currently making a fully loaded model. We will at some point in the very near future make a base model, which will be significantly less expensive, but will be also less versatile. So thinking of folding wings, sort of a land-only version, maybe stiff gear, so non-retractable gear, sort of taking the model as a lot of folks did, as Tesla did, to kind of produce the fully loaded model first, and then go into future state models and a more diverse offering. We sort of Icon is always intended to be a multi-offering aircraft company. So we it's never been the vision to just have one aircraft. We would, the goal is, and the vision is to have multiple airplanes, including four seaters, and larger aircraft as well. So here's a good shot of the plane with the wings folded. That's again one of the very difficult, and engineering task heavy goals of the team, was to have something that could do this, where the wings could, and you could fold up those wings in 10 seconds. It's easy, it's simple, and in order to design a wing joint and a wing to do that was extremely difficult and time consuming. But again, it's part of the beauty and the versatility, and what the team, so it was something that was very important for the team to accomplish. Here's a good shot of the inside of the aircraft. It's going to come up on the screen here. As you can see, part of that that initial tactile and aesthetic feel was to design something similar to a car, and as you can see, it does look quite a bit like a car. The visibility out of the cockpit is second to none. I've flown some high performance jets, and the visibility out of this plane is even better than those. And then the simple feel of it gets you to concentrate and enjoy the outdoors, and you only have a few instruments in there that are necessary. So it's not overwhelming. You're not task saturated. Does have a moving map in the center console. As you can see, that's a Garmin 796 moving map. And then it has a VHF radio. It has a mode C transponder, so you absolutely could fly in and out of class Bravo or busy airspace. The gear and flaps are electrical. There's 4 lights there in the center console. It has a heater, as well as a bilge pump, because again, it does go on the water. So in case water does come splashing in, the windows are removable, so you can take the windows out. If you're on the water, you can bilge that water out through an electric pump, which is very handy. And it has an electric water rudder as well, along with electric elevator trim. So they did a really nice job, again, to keep your task saturation low, so that you can concentrate on flying the aircraft and enjoying the pursuit of flying. And I am going to pause here for a second. I'm going to run through a couple more pictures to give you an idea of what the plane looks like in a lot of different realms of flight. You'll see some with the gear down, some with the gear up, some on the water. And if anyone has any questions, please ask. So I want to talk a little bit now. I'll just kind of, as you enjoy some of these shots, which are fantastic. You can see the gentleman there with his arm out the window because the window's been removed on warm days. I mean, of course, when you're on the water with some friends, you know, getting enjoying some water skiing. I mean, you can kind of take off and fly around your buds on a lake like that, which is beautiful and quite enjoyable. So. Here's a good shot of it on the water. I want to talk about the trailer. One of the again, one of the unique aspects and the versatility is that we were able to custom make an amphibious trailer for the A5. The amphib trailer is about a 3,500 pound trailer. The empty weight of the aircraft weighs about 1,100 pounds. So all in, you're looking at about 4,600 pounds, which is just a class 3 hitch. So any midsize SUV could pull this aircraft down the street. So the trailer is incredible. I mean, it's a single person operation. You could load and unload the plane in a matter of minutes. You could load it from the land or from the water. So you could float this into like I said, your favorite lake or into the bay. Or you can actually raise the plane on the trailer. There's by one switch will raise the plane up on the boat bottom, and you could lower the landing gear and roll it off the trailer as well. So it just goes to show you, I mean, the the thinking of the team, that went into this and saying, hey, how can we really make this a single person operation? We want some person to to really target market, to really enjoy this, take this out to the water, take it from their garage, take the kids out to Lake Powell, to Lake Mead, and have and really enjoy themselves. And that's we have quite a few owners that do that. So it's a very, very simple, easy to use design. I'll roll through a few more pictures here. I'll show you before we get into some more of the accessories and lifestyle options that are in and around the A5. So here you see it's being loaded into the water and floated like a boat, which those that are familiar with. You can also, there's this small inflatable dock that we have specifically designed. As you can see, the top is hard, the bottom is soft and inflatable. It takes about 10 minutes to inflate that, and so again, off the back of a ship or a dock, you can land your A5 and pull right in there, and that way you have a nice platform to operate within as well. And a couple of weeks ago, I was actually down in Miami, Florida. One of our owners just bought this and had a dock just like this, and had a davit arm off of his yacht, and was able to hoist the plane from the water, as you see, up onto the dock of his yacht. So people do enjoy that as well, which is again a perfect craft with which to enjoy the water. I want to get into, before I show you one more shot here of the plane in someone's garage. There is, like I said, I mean, the ability to kind of bring this around to different places is very, very unique. I've had it in a lot of interesting places, and people are always surprised to see a plane where they usually don't see an aircraft. So pretty incredible. One of the things that Icon is really proud of is our safety, the safety with which the team was able to design and implement this aircraft. The airplane has a lot of features that I'm going to get into one by one that really make this airplane one of the safest light sports out there. So before I jump into that, I see a quick question. What would you say is the total time it takes to transition from water to air? So the transition time is very easy. Do you mean from once you load the plane into the water and then take off? Very, very easy. Once you float the plane in the water, you would do it typically. You would extend the wings before you completely floated it out. The plane is very unique that it has. It comes with line and different grommets that attach to different portions of the plane. So you can line handle. You can have a line in your hand and handle the plane when you're in the water or from a dock. So it's very, very easy then to float the plane, to jump in the seat, and to turn the master switch on and turn the key. I mean, it's again very, very simple design. There's not a lot of course, we do have pre-flight checklists and run-up checklists and so forth, but they're very, very simple with again keeping within mind safety and ease of use. So there are very few steps. So you could jump in the plane and get it going in no time at all. So one of the things you did see is the intuitive nature of the cockpit, like I talked about earlier, and we believe that's a strong factor in keeping people safe in the air. Again, because they are not concentrated and don't have their eyes inside the cockpit, they're looking outside, especially because this is a VFR plane, so they're looking for traffic and they're keeping their workload down. The angle of attack gauge is, for those of you that don't know, this is one of the few aircraft in general aviation that do have an angle of attack gauge. It's something that was near and dear to my heart. Every plane in naval aviation has an angle of attack gauge. When you're landing on the aircraft carrier, that's one of the three things you do scan. When you're landing on the aircraft carrier, you scan glide slope, angle of attack, and lineup. So it's something that was extremely critical to flying in my background. So it was really interesting to see this GA plane have that angle of attack gauge, and it is really, really quite special. But angle of attack is the relative wind to the chord line. It's a good picture of what your wing is doing, and you get instant feedback in wing performance. So as a young pilot, they have a gauge that takes center stage on the instrument panel. It's at the top of the instrument panel, and it's right at your eye line. And so you can get an instant reading of how the wing is doing. There's a green, a yellow, and a red portion. Obviously, the red would mean you're in a stalled condition. The yellow would mean you're approaching stall, and the green means that the wing is doing well and you're flying. And then there's a white horizontal line, and when that wing is touching that white horizontal line, that's your max lift to drag and max range. So yes, very, very safe and intuitive, especially for a new pilot. And for a seasoned pilot, it's also a great instrument to cross-check with your airspeed. Does the A5 have dual controls? Yes, it does. It has. If you remember back in the picture, it has two sticks, and the throttle's in the center. So yes, it does. It is dualed up, so you can give instruction in the A5. Good question. Also, the team went to great lengths to design the interior that was a crash-worthy interior that's built extremely sturdy and safe. The sidewalls and the seats have extremely high tolerance. We're one of the few light sport aircraft that have a flight data recorder. There's a small flight data recorder that we have in there specifically for safety, so that we can do, with our own engineering planes. Of course, we monitor stress and strain on certain parts, and we're able to do a lot of engineering due diligence as far as that goes. And then, of course, accident reconstruction is very, very important with that too. So it's another measure of safety. The Icon does have Icon complete airframe parachute system. That system is the BRS system, the ballistic recovery system, and that is the system that's been around for 20, probably 25 years with 300 to 400 saves. It's the same company that has the parachute and the Cirrus, and it is something that we thought important to have in our aircraft, as well as an added measure of safety. One of the most incredible accomplishments of the team was the spin-resistant airframe. The Icon A5 is, to my knowledge, the only aircraft out there certified by the FAA to be spin-resistant. Not spin-proof, but spin-resistant. So they went to great lengths on the wing design. They actually sacrificed some speed for stability and safety. So the wing actually has two sections. The outboard section of the wing actually has a greater angle of attack and vortex generators to keep the wings flying in a stalled condition. And if you're in a fully stalled condition and you cross control the aircraft, opposite rudder and opposite backstick, the plane will just waffle in the air and maintain, and stay in that condition. There will not be a massive wing drop off, and the plane will not spin towards the ground. As most of you know, I'm sure they're 41% of all aviation accidents are due to spins. So we've essentially eliminated that. I mean, especially for a young pilot in the approach turn, that's definitely something that's very real. And so to sort of eliminate that, we thought was important. So again, another impressive design. I am going to play a short video in a couple seconds here of some demos that we did quite a while ago back in New York City. Just a nice break, and I'll give you guys an idea. There'll be some audio attached with it. I hope you can hear the audio. As you can see in these pictures, though, you can see the two sections of the wing. You see that large cuff that comes in halfway down the wing into the outboard section. And that is the portion that has an increased angle of attack that you can see. And there's tiny little vortex generators out there that keep the airflow turbulent, because turbulent airflow, as we remember, adheres to the boundary layer much better than laminar flow. So that's the primary design for the spin-resistant aircraft. So enjoy this short video and think about any questions that you may have. Again, happy to answer some questions after the video. Enjoy the short video of New York, and then I'm going to jump into some of the manufacturing and design and show you some pictures of our facility, and sort of get into a little bit of how the aircraft is born and put together. So enjoy this video.
All right, Captain, let's do this.
All right, let's go. Flaps are set, trim set, water rudders up.
River, traffic near 5 is Hussex, 13 down. All right, y'all set? 35 southbound. Let's do this. Roger that. We'll be ready for takeoff this heading here in a minute. Okay, roger that. I'll do the 360, come around and pick you up. Yeah, now we're talking. Oh, that's fabulous. Wow, this view of downtown New York. It's amazing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. On the 285, Governor's Island headed towards downtown at 300 feet. Formation two-ship.
Oh, that's awesome. What a great view.
What a great view.
Start skimming these waves.
Woo-hoo! You ready?
Yeah, do it. Oh,
I love it. It's incredible. Holy smokes. How about that, huh?
And A5's two of you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna come last. You ready? Ready. Spectacular. Greatest city in the world. Icon A5, leaving the statue, 300 northbound.
this is amazing.
Isn't it something?
Absolutely amazing.
I mean, this is what I always wanted flying to be, you know?
I can say this is the best experience ever in New York City.
York City.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that is spectacular. Thank you so much. It's so cool.
Yeah. I tell you, this is unbelievable.
Well, that was really cool.
All right, good. Glad you enjoyed it.
All right. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little video. New York is definitely a fun place to fly. I was born and raised not too far from New York City, and so had the opportunity to go back there this past summer. We did a large, we called it the Angle of Attack tour, aptly named. We went to a lot of major cities up and down the eastern seaboard to give demonstration flights and talk about yeah, the Icon A5 and the beauty of it, and sort of to get folks excited and see the possibilities in and around personal flying. And as you can see, the Hudson River is a beautiful, beautiful place to fly up and down, and there's a lot of great airports to go in and out of as well. And like I said, I mean, the A5 was specifically made really for adventure fun and weekend travel, beating the traffic of the city, getting out to the Hamptons, getting from the Hamptons back to the city. I mean, all of those things become possible with a personal aircraft like the A5, something that really would be quite a challenge otherwise. So. A lot of applications out here in California as well. I live in San Diego. Incidentally, we have an office in Santa Monica. Those of you that have ever been in Southern California know that traffic can be a nightmare. And I fly my A5 all the time from San Diego to Santa Monica. You know, it takes about 50 minutes or so, and otherwise I'm in for about a 3.5 hour drive, probably in rush hour, to get from San Diego to Santa Monica, which is not fun. So one of the nice benefits there as well. So want to get into manufacturing a little bit. As I talked about, design was at the core. You see the car and the drone there, and sort of making something that that's pretty incredible, with an incredible, durable, light substance like carbon fiber. Aircraft, not many aircraft are fully carbon fiber, very few in fact. We are one of those aircraft. A lot of you'll notice a lot of high-end cars, as you see on the left, have a lot of carbon fiber, but the tolerances for us in aviation are a lot tighter and a lot more difficult because it's the planes, you know, flying in the air, and the strength of materials, and the different temperature variations, humidity, have to be just so in order for, you know, the piece of material to make the cut. So to meld those has been a challenge, but certainly a challenge that we've been able to overcome. And we believe, you know, we're going to set a new standard here. So we have two major facilities that we operate. One is down in Tijuana, in Baja there, Mexico, right across the border from San Diego. It's where all of our composite is laid up and bonded. It's all pre-preg carbon, for those of you familiar with the process. We are down there. There are a lot of car manufacturing companies down there. There's a tremendous amount of talent down there. Gulfstream's down there, Boeing's down there, Audi's down there, BMW's down there. And so we have a 300,000 square foot facility down there, which is a beautiful, beautiful facility. I'll show you some pictures of the inside, which is where we do all of the, like I said, all the layup and the bonding. We make our own tools, and we do everything from scratch. It's an extremely labor-intensive process. Once all of the pieces are made of the aircraft, and if anyone's interested, it's 372 separate pieces. All those pieces then are put into a tractor trailer and driven up to Vacaville, California, right there in between the Bay Area and Sacramento. And we have, that's where our North American headquarters is, and we have several hundred employees there as well. And that's where we put the A5 together. It goes through a 21-stage assembly line, which is really amazing. It's a completely serialized production and assembly. It's extremely impressive. And then the wings get put on last, and then it gets test flown up there. We do initial conditional inspections up there, and then we deliver them to our customers. So that's sort of how the A5 is born and delivered. But I'm going to run through some of the pictures that I talked about. There's a nice overhead shot of our facility in Tijuana. Like I said, we have several hundred employees down there working in the factory, and I'm going to run through some pictures of some of the tooling and some of the machinery that we have down there, and how this process takes place. It's essentially, satellite technology, and it's absolute state of the art. It's been so so advanced and so impressive that we've actually had other people in that area and other aircraft manufacturers come to us and ask us, hey, would you be able to do this for us? Could you make this for us? And we have to say, thank you very much. Certainly flattered, and thanks for thinking of us. But unfortunately, we're busy trying to make airplanes and do what we do. So unfortunately, haven't been able to accommodate. Some point in the future, we would certainly love to do that. But at this point, we're very focused at producing the very, very best airplane that we can. And so we're hyper focused on that. Matter of fact, our founders were invited not too long ago to Google and Uber. Elevate invited them as sort of, I'm sure most of you are aware, Uber is trying to take over the skies, and essentially make vehicles and a system for Uber to transport people around metro areas, just like I talked about with busy traffic, and getting them in and around LA and San Francisco and Chicago and New York safely and expeditiously. And so people are very, very impressed with the carbon that we've been able to produce and the aviation quality carbon. And so they've asked our our team and our founding team to come and talk to them about this, and the challenges and that we've had in and around doing this. And so it's not something that's easy. Obviously, it's very, very difficult. It's taken us a long time to sort of perfect, but it's something that we take very seriously, and certainly happy to share with others. So here's a great shot of our facility up in Vacaville. We are for those that are familiar, that's the Nut Tree Airport there, in Vacaville, right, not too far from Travis Air Force Base. And so very, very close to a beautiful lake called Lake Berryessa, which we operate out of. And so we built a nice facility there on the north side of the ramp where our production happens. And so here's a little peek inside our production facility as well. We have a couple massive, beautiful paint booths there, which are all environmentally sensitive paint booths. So they're paint booths that were specifically designed, to meet California's environmental regulations and to paint all the different parts of the aircraft. When it comes in, it needs to be rebonded, sanded, and painted. So you'll see some of that as we go down, but you can see everything is branded. All the assembly line stuff is serialized and branded. So the body of the plane gets put on a dolly before the landing gear get put on. So then it can just be rolled down all the different stages of the assembly line. And things go in little by little until the wings get put on. But this is something that's quality control and production is very, very important, and it is all about the people. We're fortunate to have some wonderful people working for us in that area. We're certainly able to draw on talent from the Bay Area. in Vacaville, not too far from San Francisco and Oakland. And Silicon Valley as well. So tremendous group of people there. They're working to make sure the A5 is put together in such a manner that meets our high standard. Wanted to see if anyone, just pause for a second to see if anyone had questions about the composite factory or the production. If not, I can talk a little bit more about our network and how we go to market before I run into sort of the call to action and partnership. And certainly, if folks want to get a hold of me, they can contact Kelsey or Tom and certainly get my information. Happy to chat more about it. Certainly happy to extend opportunities to tour our facility and or get a demonstration flight. But we do have, like I said, we have 750 folks now throughout North America. We are working on getting internationally certified. As most of you know, it was a clean sheet aircraft, so getting another country's certification is a challenge. The main challenge there really is behind engineering drawings. It's getting another aviation administration to sort of buy off on the plane. It's just a very labor-intensive process, a lot of red tape. Unfortunately, we're working very, very diligently to do that. You can always fly the plane into Canada, Mexico, certainly other places in North America, but to take delivery of an aircraft overseas right now is a little bit of a challenge. We're about to deliver a plane into Australia, which we're certainly very, very proud of, and to make that work. And as we go and expand, we've sort of always believed that our marketplace was about 30% in the United States and about 70% international. There's some beautiful, beautiful places to fly this plane internationally, Asia and Europe and Australia and the South Pacific. And so there's a lot of great places to enjoy the A5. So it's certainly something that's on the horizon for us and that we're working diligently towards. We've also are networking with a lot of flight schools and a lot of third-party providers all across the country, 40 plus service network providers that provide service and are able to affix and service the A5 across the country, in addition to flight instructors and flight schools all across the country that can help you get trained, initial training, recurrency training, and so forth. So that's something that's important to us as well. Safety is paramount when we want you to enjoy the plane, but we also want you to do so safely and in a manner in keeping with someone, their individual skill levels, as well as the abilities of the plane, and knowing the plane and having experience in the plane is certainly very, very helpful. We have right now, we like most aviation companies, divide up the United States by major regions. So I cover California, Arizona, and Nevada, and we have 8 other folks around the country that have other portions of the country, and they direct the sales and the marketing within that area, and they have a small team with which they activate their region and try to get people to see the A5, to see it up close and personal, to learn about it and to enjoy it. I mean, it's really for people that have always dreamed of aviation or never even considered it. I mean, that's what we're here for, and that's what we want to translate our passion and our love of flying and bring that to others. So I'm going to wait a second before I jump into little call to action if no one has any questions. I don't see any questions popping up. So yeah, I would humbly ask that that you join our mission if this is something that's interesting to you and something that appeals to you, or you know some people that you think it would appeal to. We have at the moment we have a generous advocate program, which I will talk about, and it's something that I think, as a new aircraft company, it's certainly important for us to get the word out and to get people excited about it. And so we do offer a nice referral bonus for people that are interested in using this as their adventure vehicle. And so you could see in this picture, I just wanted to highlight this picture. This was March of last year, Tech Toys and Tenders. So there's a davit arm on there, and the gentleman on exploration uses that to hoist his A5 on and off the plane, on and off the boat. As you can see the plane back there in the little U-shaped inflatable dock that I highlighted before. But really for us, I mean, it is about right now about exposure and getting the word out. I mean, we have been around, like I said, a 10-year-old plus startup. We've only been in the commercial phase about 2 years. So in 2 years, we've been able to deliver 100 aircraft, which we're of course very proud of. So typically we offer a $10,000 financial incentive per referral leading to a purchase. So if you did refer someone to me that we weren't already engaged with, and that person did purchase an A5, we would be happy to give you $10,000, and then $15,000 referral fee for different types of service partners and sales and service partners, and that could go a variety of different ways. And basically someone that advocates on our behalf, and whether it's literature marketing. We do have small branded kiosks that we do place in different places, things like that. If in a high traffic area, if that's something that you or somebody that wanted to do that, certainly for a referral fee of $15,000 for that. So again, all kinds of value adds. Part of what Tom has been very gracious and generous to offer me some time here on his webinar to chat with you about the history of the company. And so, we're always open to cross-banding and really supporting and advocating for aviation in general. Like I said, I mean, we really do love aviation, and all the people at Icon do and are very passionate about it, which is certainly why we're here. And so, with that, I just want to say thanks again. Thanks everyone for their time, and I'll certainly entertain any questions that Tom or his team may have, or anybody else that's listening. So thanks.
So we are inviting you to reach back to us, but the one thing I'd like you to do, Noah, is to give us a way to contact you. Can you share your phone number and your email address with us, or do you have a slide that does that?
Yeah, absolutely. I can share that with you. I don't have a slide that has that on there, but I'm happy to do that. Yeah, and I could send that out to folks, whatever you think is most expeditious. But it's just my first name dot last name, so it's noah.collins@iconaircraft.com. And if you go to our website, if you go to www.iconaircraft.com, there's also several ways to contact us on there, and that will eventually get to me as well. And so if folks want to give me a call too, or shoot me a text, I'm happy to give you my mobile number is 619-665-4396. So thank you, Tom. I appreciate that, and I look forward to chatting with all.
Perfect. And just so that you make the connection yourself, the name of my company is Aero Marine Tax Professionals. This is a watercraft and an aircraft. So when you buy yours, make sure that you contact us to make sure that you don't have any problems with the state of California. And we're coming to the end. I'm about to sign off. Noah, do you have anything else that you want to communicate?
No, I just want to say thanks for the opportunity. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I would love to chat with folks about aviation and about enjoying themselves in the air and on the water in the A5. So yeah, please reach out.
Awesome. All right, then that is the end of today's presentation. Please contact us if you have any other questions, or if you have any other subjects you'd like to be covered, or if you want to see Noah again, let us know. Bye-bye.